There's a pretty one, Ulysses. There it is.
Hello, I'm Sean the Book Maniac. Welcome back to my channel. Here I am with another installment on my occasional series of videos that I launched last month called Massage My TBR. What I mean by massaging my TBR is that I have a humongous GoodReads to be read, want to read just under 2,000 books. And those are books that I do not own and that for whatever momentary cursory reason I added to my TBR over the years. I've been a member of GoodReads since late 2015. And so the point of this is for me to go back and look at the books that I entered on this day, this being February 3rd, 2016, February 3rd, 2017, and February 3rd, 2018, just to reacquaint myself with what's there, maybe do a little bit of Googling and checking, and maybe even first chapter sampling or something, to massage my TBR back into the active part of my reading brain, if that makes sense. I had a lot of fun with it and got good feedback from you guys last month, so I'm going to do it again. I'll do it occasionally until it runs its course. One of the books that I massaged back into my awareness last month is on its way in the mail to me because I ordered it. I have no idea what's here, and it's fun to rediscover what's there. So without further ado, let's get started. Hey, so spoiler alert, the actual 1 year to the day strategy failed miserably with this date. There was nothing on those dates, or only one or something for all 3 years. So I'm going to do ballpark dates. So I'm going to delete a lot of the fruitless searching and just skip ahead to the meat of this video, which is about, approximately February 3rd for the previous 3 years. Okay, so it's been a bust. February 3rd is just not a good day. Obviously, it was not a prime day for Sean the Book Maniac to add books to his TBR. So I'm going to have to loosen my requirements here and go back. And I will choose at least 6 because I've got stuff from the next day or close to the day. And, when I come up with nothing like this, I'm just going to have to not be so strict. Alright, so if I go to early February 2016, 3 years ago, I've got one from February 2nd and 2 by the same author on the same topic from February 4th. So let's, all 3 of them being Japanese-oriented books. So the one from February 2nd, 2016 is a Ruth Ozeki novel, A Tale for the Time Being. I have her My Year of Meats on my shelf unread. And I always get these 2 novels mixed up. This is the one I think I've heard most about, and I've heard some scathingly negative reviews of it, but I think I've also heard other reviews that were almost as positive as the scathing ones were scathing. Okay, well, Britta quite liked it. Yeah, some... Oh, it was Claire Reed's Books. I think it was her scathing review I remember fondly. I will try My Year of Meats first, which is about vegetarianism, which is not a subject of great interest in my literature. I'm not opposed to vegetarianism, but I don't think I want to read fiction about it. I can think of one good example, but I'm going to step on a whole bunch of people's toes if I go on down that rant hole right now. But this one, it's interesting because it's about, the premise is interesting because there's a protagonist, 16-year-old girl in Tokyo who keeps a diary. And then across the Pacific, there's I think a Japanese-Canadian woman named Ruth. That diary gets washed up on shore, and it's the thing. But for some readers, that really works. And for others, it just falls very, very flat. So I will keep this on my list and try My Year of Meats. And if I don't love My Year of Meats, I'll probably not bother with this, but I haven't read anything by her. So, okay, so that was one. And I had 2 from February 4th, 2016, by a writer named Marie Mutsuki Mockett. And the one that I'll talk to you about today is called Where the Dead Pause and the Japanese Say Goodbye, A Journey. And her family own a Buddhist temple 25 miles from the Fukushima nuclear power plant. So it's about the aftermath of the earthquake and tsunami and the fact that her family was not able to bury her grandfather's bones. So ultimately I may not end up starting with this one, but this sounds really compelling too. But I think the other one, I might as well give you the title. It's called Picking Bones from Ash. Oh, this one's a novel. Okay. I didn't realize that. The other one's a memoir and this is the novel. But she's obviously, her subject of her writing is Japanese death customs, and they are fascinating. And the thing that they do with after the body is cremated, and they use huge chopsticks designed only for this funereal purpose, and they pick the bones out of the ashes and shape the body. The family, the survivors, the family members do that, and it sounds like a very moving rite. It creeps me out, to be honest, but that's my stuff as a Westerner. It also sounds really meaningful and moving. So, Picking Bones from Ash is, what about that? I don't think I'll start with the novel. So the first one that I picked, the memoir, even though I don't like memoir, but the memoir about this, I'm interested in. Alright, so let's go to early February 2017. Okay, I entered two on February 2nd, 2017. I'll talk about one of them, and then I'll choose one or two others from February 4th. I chose Oliver the Seventh, a novel by Antal Zerb. Translated from the Hungarian, I'm going to guess. I think he's a Hungarian writer. By Len Ricks. Yeah. This was 2017 I added this. This reminds me of a book that I did for a page 112 tag, but I wasn't on BookTube back then. This is about the restless King Oliver VII of Alturia, an obscure Central European state, obviously fictionalized, whose only notable exports are wine and sardines. He just wants to do nothing, so he plots a fake coup against himself and escapes to Venice in search of a new life. None of my friends have read it. Oh, and then after he escapes to Venice, he ends up impersonating himself. It's published by Pushkin in 2007. Yeah, let's see if this one's on Scribd. That's part of this process too, because if it's on Scribd, I'm likely to try it. Well, I have one that looks like it's probably, yeah, in original Hungarian. That's not going to help me out too much. Oh, no, I've got it. I've got it as an ebook on Scribd. So let's look at the first paragraph, or so. Okay, it's kind of fun. It has a kind of a comedic, it sounds like very much a comedy, maybe a satire. It's reminding me a little bit of E.F. Benson or something. I might try it. I might. Won't be rushing to move it very far up closer to the top of my TBR, but I will leave it on my TBR. And let's find out a little bit more about Antal Zerb, one of the major Hungarian writers of the 20th century, born in 1901 to Jewish parents, assimilated Jewish parents in Budapest, but baptized Catholic. Okay, interesting. So one or two from February 4th. Okay, I see one that I'm going to take off immediately. This was a nomination for, what was it, the Women's Prize list. Miss Burma by Charmaine Craig. It's shit. Everybody said it was shit. It's going off my... I can't believe it's still on there. I heard so many horrendous reviews of this. But now, can I take it off? How do you take it off? I know how to take it off on my iPad app. What happens if I click the app? Remove from my books. Oh, that's pretty easy. X mark. Okay. Bye, Miss Burma. I'm so interested in the country and the culture, but I'm going to look at two out of this list. Oh, come on. Now my screen's frozen up. How do you like this video so far? Jesus Christ. Let's look at Music of the Ghosts by Vadi Ratner. I have no memory of this. This is a novel published in 2017. Vadi Ratner is a Cambodian American writer. And this novel is about a Cambodian American protagonist returning to Cambodia for the first time since her escape as a child refugee. Well, the topic is interesting, but I find Jennifer of Insert Literary Pun wasn't a big fan. Yeah, I find these really traumatic world events don't usually produce readable fiction for decades and decades after the event. So no, I'm taking this one off too. Lots of compassion for the people that lived through that, but there isn't any good literature about this, or I would have known about it, or somebody will tell me about it, but just doing a scan of the reviews there, no. Okay, so that's one off my list. Here's one that I believe Eric Carl Anderson loved, and I have had my eye on for quite some time. These are short stories. A Life of Adventure and Delight by Akhil Sharma. The fact that they're short stories, I'm not as drawn to them, but I'm really curious about this writer. So what's the story on... Is it a he? Yep. Lives in New York City, native of Delhi, and has written a whole pile of stuff. 2014 novel Family Life. Yeah, I might be more likely to start with the novel rather than the short stories. His novels are not all that highly rated, but I have yet to read anything from from the country of India that I didn't love. So yeah, it's in the bookstore here in Tokyo, so I can pick it up anytime. Do I have it online? I don't have it on Scribd, but I might go to the bookstore and read a couple pages of the short stories and maybe pick them up. It has a 3.55 rating on GoodReads. That doesn't necessarily mean anything. Oh, one of my favorite GoodReads friends, I think she's my friend through Litzy. I don't have any personal communication with her, but she gives so many books 1 stars. So when she gives anything that's a 3 and above, I take special note, and she gave this a 1 star. Just looking at the first few reviews from the community, 3 stars, 4 stars, 4 stars, 5 stars, 3 stars, 2. So it's very mixed. I'm interested to try something by him, and these short stories might be what I want. Let's go to 2018. All right, so early February 2018, almost a year ago. Okay, I have one from February 1st and one from February 5th, so let's talk about those. Another novel from maybe India, or maybe is it Pakistan, that I believe Eric loved. The Golden Legend by Nadim Aslam has a very high rating, 4.02. Yeah, Pakistani British writer. Oops. Huh? Maybe a little cute too. Oh yeah, I wouldn't throw him out of my bed for eating crackers. So, The Golden Legend, I also have his Maps for Lost Lovers on my TBR, but this one, in contemporary Pakistan, the story of a Muslim widow and her Christian neighbors in a community consumed by violent religious intolerance. So that will be a tough read, but I am definitely here for that. Do I have any of that on Scribd? I have The Golden Legend on audiobook, and I've already got it bookmarked, so look at me go. Let's listen to just a minute of the audio.
There is no greater denier of God than he who accepts injustice instead of rebelling. Qatil Shifai. The first place of note is the minaret fortress. As we approached it, our convoy passed through a delightful valley between burial mounds overgrown with lime and plane trees.
Well, with a luscious accent like that, if the writing's no good, it will take me half the book to make such a conclusion because the accent is mesmerizing. So yeah, I'm definitely going to do this one on audio. Woo! And the other one is a novel from Canada, The Boat People by Sharon Bala. This was part of the Canada Reads competition that they have on CBC TV every year. I think it last year. It's historical fiction, and it's about the refugees coming from Sri Lanka to Vancouver. It's got a 4.02 rating. Yeah, it was a Canada Reads nominee for 2018. I don't know if it won. I didn't hear anything about it that made me think it might be a spellbinding piece of literature, aside from the fact that it was about a very interesting topic. So let's see what my friends thought. Yeah, I got a 3-star, 4 stars, 4, 3. Most of my friends haven't read it. Lots of my friends have it on their TBR. The last few reviews have been solid 4-star reviews. So let's see, do I have it? I have it on audio. Let's have a little listen, shall we?
Mahindan was flat on his back when the screaming began, one arm right-angled over his eyes. He heard the whistle and thud of falling artillery.
Okay, well, I'm not sure about that audio narrator, but I will give it a try. I'm not out anything to give it a try. So that's what I've got for this installment of Massaging My TBR. Of the ones that I have looked at tonight, I think I'm most likely to start with the Nadim Aslam novel. Yeah, that would be my first pick. I think I deleted one. I've already forgotten which one I deleted, because that was about 45 minutes ago. Takes a long time to film this video with all the scrolling and whatnot, but Boat People I will try. Any of the other ones that I didn't actually delete, I will try, but I'm glad to have been reminded of Nadim Aslam and also Akhil Sharma, those two. Alright, so which of these have you read? Which of these do you think would be more likely to be Sean books than others? Which ones do you think I should start with? Thanks for watching.